Welcome back to Bruins Game Reactions. Boston Bruins lose 5-1 to the Columbus Blue Jackets in Game 20 of the NHL regular season. Boy, this was a tough loss. Heading into this one, here were the projected lines. Swayman gets the start over Korpisalo. Peak comes back in after missing past 5 games. Kaslik still dealing with that injury from St. Louis. Cole Koepka and Parker Wotherspoon are both scratched. Jordan Osterley and Jeffrey Vail was called up. Jordan Osterley and him were both inserted into the lineup for tonight. Man, this game was not good. I'm trying something a bit different. There's going to be 4 distinct clips. This is obviously clip number 1. Clip number 2 is going to be at first period intermission. Third one is going to be second period. Fourth one is going to be at the end of the game. Just trying some new things here. Seeing what I like. Seeing what you guys at home like, obviously. That is what is most important. Yeah, that's going to be it. Let's get right into it. In the first period, David Voronkov scores 5 minutes in. Got sprung for a breakaway after a bad turnover in the offensive zone. And 2 Bruins players were just barely able to get back. Couldn't get back cleanly. Ended up taking a penalty. But because he scores on the play, no penalty, no call. Yeah, this was a bad goal to allow quite early on. Obviously, Swayman's not going to stop them all. He's not going to stop every breakaway that's given. You'd like him to have that one. Mason Lohrei was back again. Obviously, he got called for a penalty shot against Dallas. Probably would have been one here, but again, because he scored, no goal. Next one came from Matthew Olive. It French something. Matthew Oliver, but it's French. Olive. Gets a shorthanded goal, which, I thought up to that point, that power play wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. And then, final 20 seconds of the power play, just decide, what the hell, give the puck up, let them come right down the ice, score. Just not a bad timing of a goal. Like, the Bruins have been screwed over by that a few times where, just as a player's coming out of the box or something, a goal will be scored. I'm not making excuses for the power play, because it is still very bad. Still dead last as I'm filming this currently in the first period. Wasn't able to score. There was a fight. Not right now, but a couple minutes into the game. David Vail, I think David Vail made his name very known. Has a fight and a penalty already. I don't hate him. He's looked good when he's been on the ice, which has not been a lot. But he seems like the kick this team needs. I don't know if that's going to constitute to scoring. Clearly has not, as they're down 2-0 right now. Down 3-0 at intermission, but 2-0 right now. James Van Riemsdyk scores a third goal for Columbus. You knew this one was coming. James Van Riemsdyk was going to score eventually. Tends to happen against a former team, especially, at least for the first few matchups. Gotta play the full 20 minutes. You can't play 19:30, 19:59. Gotta play from 20 minutes on the clock to 0. You gotta do that 3 times, then you get overtime, play from 5 minutes down to 0, then send your 4 best players out in the shootout, or send your 3 best players out in the shootout, then it's a money grab after that. Who cares? Man, this team is really annoying when it comes to this kind of thing. If I can find it, I'm sure there's a stat out there for goals allowed in the final minute of a frame. The Bruins have got to be up there, because they have not been good this season. They haven't been good in the past seasons. Second period kicks off, 8 seconds in, immediately a penalty for interference by Charlie McAvoy. Just right off the face-off, McAvoy upends a Columbus player. The puck was at his feet, but because the player didn't have control of the puck, obviously that goes for interference. This period was spent more on the power play for either team than it was actually at 5-on-5. And the Bruins were finally able to capitalize. Mason Lohrei sends it over to Justin Brazeau. Mason Lohrei sends the puck in. Justin Brazeau down behind the net in the trapezoid. Flips it out to Charlie Coyle. Barely gets enough on this thing to make it past Elvis Merzlikins. And it's 3-1. Boston has their 4th power play goal in their previous 49 attempts. Maybe this is a sign of things to come. Quite promptly not, as the Bruins get another power play opportunity with 1:20 left in the period, and the majority of that time was spent in their own zone, with Zach Aston Reese going 4-on-1, or going 1-on-4, with 4 Bruins players, and he drew a call out of it. So 4-on-4 we go, and that is the end of the period. Couple of penalties for each team in the third period. Boston on the power play gives up a 2-on-1 shorthanded goal. Mason Lohrei was on the ice again. He needs to sit for a game. At least one, if not have a little look down in the minors. He was a -3 when I last checked. He was on the ice for at least 2 others, or at least 1 other. Obviously that won't affect his plus-minus as it's a 5-on-4 situation. You scored on the power play. That's a good thing. You also gave up 2 shorthanded. So you score on the power play, but you still come out negative. How that happens? Your power play defense is not good enough. Why is Mason Lohrei? I love him to death. He seems like a great guy to hang out with, and a really good player. Eventually. Not right now. He's okay right now. But why is he your second unit power play quarterback? Why is it not Nikita Zadorov? And people are going to say, oh, well, I'm spitballing here. He didn't play power play in Calgary or Vancouver or wherever he came from. Vancouver, I think. Okay, so your 2 options are McAvoy, Lindholm, then Lohrei? Why is that your go-to? Or, you know what, maybe this? Maybe try 3 forwards, 2 defensemen. Or 5 forwards, for that matter. Because clearly this isn't working. Something needs to change. I'm calling this now. This is rock bottom. Man, this one sucks having 5 hung on you. Swayman has a 6 goal against average. Not 6 goals against, a 6 goal against average in his past 2 games. I don't know. You have Thursday. That's your next game is Thursday. Figure it out. There were 18 scouts in the building tonight for 18 other teams. Someone's got to call you about someone. If they call you about Swayman, send him out. Because Busey is probably better in the minors. Busey or DiPietro. Pick your poison. I mean, I cheer for the Toronto Blue Jays. So if you know that team, Alek Manoah, that's who it feels like Jeremy Swayman is. He came in rookie year really good, second year really good, third year, right out the window. You give Korpisalo the runway. He is your bona fide starter for right now until Jeremy Swayman takes that net back. And Korpisalo has not taken this net. Jeremy Swayman has given it to him. And that's when you have problems. When your $8.25 million goaltender is giving away the net. I'm not going to put all of these on him. You need a stop. It's just something. I'm not going to put the 4th goal on him. Scores 5-1, by the way. I'm not going to put the 4th goal on him. Because that was on lower eye. Just nothing. You want one of those 4. At least. Because I'm willing to bet you showed countless... If you showed Bruins management video clips of how you've played, there were a couple 2-on-1 or 2-on-0 clips where you made a save. And I know that you can, but you don't. You need something. You can't go into the next game against, I think Utah, they play next. You can't go in against Utah and expect to win with this. Jeffrey Vale was the call-up tonight. He looked not horrible, actually. Obviously had the fight in 2 penalty minutes in the first. Outside of that, he didn't look too bad. I don't know. This sucks. I'm not having fun doing these like I thought I would. I also expected this team to be, a few games above 500. Not out of a playoff spot like you have now fallen. Yeah. I don't know. You need a trade. That is a guarantee. Because you're clearly too bloody stubborn to call up Matthew Poitras again. Or Mason Lohrei. So, do something. This isn't even going to Bruins management now. This is going to Bruins ownership. Do something. Fire someone. I get Cam Neely and Don Sweeney both played for this organization. You do not have to keep them in the position they are in. You can move them around. You can fire them. You can do something that isn't insanity. Because that is what this team is. You've now watched 20 games of this. You are a quarter of the way through the season. Coming up very close to that American Thanksgiving threshold. Where, okay, well, if you're 4 points out, guess what? You're not making the playoffs. So, or is it 6? I think it's 6 points out. You could very easily find yourself in that. 6 points out on American Thanksgiving, and you're done. That's it. That's a wrap for the season. Pack your bags, head out to the golf course already. Sure, Cabo's pretty nice this time of year. Can't be that bad. It's down in Mexico. I'd like to go. I'd love to go, honestly. You gotta do something. You can't be allowing 6 goals a game on average and expect to win. Jordan Peak, or Andrew Peak, played alright. Kind of quiet. But that's what you need for, well, I guess it doesn't help that 90% of this game felt like it was played on the penalty kill or power play. He didn't play too bad for his first game back. He might be the only one who gets a pass in this game, honestly. Him and Charlie Coyle. Actually, no, sorry. I did really enjoy Justin Brazeau in this one as well. Brazeau, Coyle, Peak. You guys are safe. As of right now, those are the only 3 guys on this team that are safe. If any of these other 20 players on this roster get traded, I will be disappointed if a few of them are traded. Not heartbroken. No, I don't want to be doing this again. I say again, like, this team's going to make the playoffs and rip our heart outs again. I don't want to do this. You've been this monster for the past 20 years. Even last year you looked pretty good. And you're telling me this year is just not even close? Like, hell, your wins don't even look like wins. They look like the other team gave them to you. Yeah. I'm going to call it there. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. Click like if you like. Click subscribe if you really liked. That's going to be it. Thank you.